What is up, guys? Today I got a fun 1-3 private game for you guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I haven't posted in a really long time. It's been over a month, but that's mainly due to some medical stuff I've been going through. So I'm coming out on the other side of that. Things are looking a little better than they were. So I'm trying to get back in the swing of playing some poker. I haven't been playing a lot, played only a couple sessions this month, so super unlike me, but it's been hard to focus on anything poker related. Editing and making videos has just been tough. So hopefully I'll start cranking out some videos for you guys, and I hope you guys understand and aren't mad at me for not posting. But either way, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so for the first hand you guys have seen from me in a while, I looked down at a pretty interesting one, a fun one to play. I looked down at Jack 9 suited in middle position. Action starts with an early position player raising it up to $6. It's a 1-3 game. He min clicked it, not sure why he did that. Somebody calls in front, I call, and the button decides to 3-bet it up here, very small, to $20. $18 in the pot already, he makes it 20. I don't think anyone's gonna fold to this, especially at this game, so we get one caller, I call, and another guy calls. Basically, we're going 4 ways to a flop because something pot odds or something like that. I've heard that before. Flop comes pretty good for me. It's the 10 of hearts, the 6 of hearts, and the 3 of clubs. I have a front door heart draw, some backdoor straight ideas. A lot of things could happen to me. Checks all the way to the 3-better. I check, and turns out he wants to keep barreling. He bets for $35. Again, kind of a small bet, less than half size pot. Folds back around to me. I decide I want to play a big one. I want to put some pressure on right now, mainly just so I can take it down now if he has air, and also to get stacks in if I hit my card. I make it big. Make it $110 to go. The button must have a real hand because after some hemming and hawing, he ends up making the call. At this point, I'm putting him on some overpairs like Jacks plus, so I might need to tread carefully if I don't get there immediately. With about $300 in the middle, the turn is the Queen of clubs. So despite there only being one more card to come, I actually gained some equity because of the amount of outs that I just picked up. So it's a great card to double barrel on, and double barrel I do. I don't take long before saying the magical words of Holland for about $225 effective. But I get absolutely snapped off, and that's a terrible feeling because I'm probably up against a set. But even if I was up against a set, I have at least 30% equity or something like that. So either way, we obviously need some help. We'd agree to run it twice, and on the first run out, we say a bink 8 of clubs. So we improve to a straight. And on the second board, we see a bink 7 of hearts. So we improve to a flush. Our opponent sheepishly shows over 6-6 for a flop set. I'm disgusted that we beat him on both runouts. I show my Jack 9 of hearts, my straight, and my flush, and we end up scooping this entire $750 pot. Great way to start the night off. Exactly what I needed. Okay, so keeping the ball rolling here, we start this one off with a $10 straddle. I'm in the straddle. Action starts with the middle position player, making it $20 to go. Folds around to the big blind on my left. He makes it 55. I contemplate the cold 4-bet here, but I decide that might be a little too strong. And also, I decide to just flat because the initial raiser hasn't made a 3-bet or a 4-bet the entire night. So I think he's most likely going to flat. I don't think I have to worry about being squeezed or pushed off my hand. Does decide to just let it go. So we're going heads up to a flop with about $130 in the middle. The flop comes Jack 7-4-2 hearts. So we have top set here. We have the absolute nuts. And surprisingly, the 3-better checks it over to me. I guess good for him because I was going to raise it anyway, but I decide to bet out small with my top set here. I make it $50 to go. The initial raiser then decides that's not enough, and he check raises me up to $150. And I actually have a real decision here whether or not I want to jam or if I want to just call and potentially keep any bluffs in or make it so he can't find a good fold with something like that. I decide though on the aggressive approach. I just jam it in there, especially because there was 2 hearts on the board. I didn't want a flush to come in. Ace King suited, definitely a hand he could have that could be check raising. So like I said, I jam it in there, and immediately he says, damn it, that was a stupid raise, and mucks his card. So probably should have just flatted, keeping his bluffs in, but how many bluffs does he have there? I don't know. It's mainly just overpairs, I think, taking that line. So I don't hate my jam. At this point, we still get a very nice pot of $430 coming our way, and the luck continues. So the luck definitely continues when just a few hands later, I look down at a premium, a beautiful hand, 2 ladies in my hand on the button. I have queens. Action starts with the middle position player, making it $6 to go. Once again, the cutoff makes the call. I decide to make it $20 now with my premium, and both the players end up making the call. So we're going 3 ways to a flop with a premium, and we see a Queen 6-3 all club board. So I have top set. I've been doing that a lot today, turns out. So guys, practice this. It's huge for your game. I know I've made this joke a couple times, but I cannot stress it enough. It is just so important to win hands. So with top set on a full monotone board, when it checks to me, I'm definitely just going to keep betting. If somebody has a flush, I can improve to a full house. So be it. I bet out pretty large here. I think I like a smaller bet, but I end up making $50 to go here. Both the players make the fold. So we pick up some money here. Not the craziest hand. I just wanted to show this mainly to just show how well I was running in the session. So let's move on. All right, guys. So this one's kind of a weird one, and I was a little confused at some points in the hand. So, in the comments, let me know what you would have done or what you think about this one. Let me know. I look down at ace king on the button. Middle position player raises it up to $10. It's definitely not going to be enough for me, so I 3-bet it up to $35, and the villain makes the call. So we're going heads up to a flop. The flop's pretty great for me. It's queen, king, 4, rainbow. So I have top. Not really scared of too much here. When it's checked to me, I bet out for $25 and get snapped. So the villain definitely has a piece of it. Probably a weaker hand than mine, though. Pot is now $120, and the turn is a brick 3. But for some reason, and this is what really gets me, he leads out for $50. Alarm bells are definitely going off. I'm kind of unsure what this means. I'm not really sure how many worse hands are going to be donking into the aggressor like this. So I just make the call. Honestly, I was pretty confused. I wasn't sure if I liked to raise here, because if I raised and then got 3-bet, probably have to make a fold. But either way, pot's now $220, and the river comes a queen. Seems like a pretty safe card. I'm beating some random 2 pairs now, so unless he had Queen X and he was turning that into a bluff, he doesn't really have that many hands now that beat me, unless he's like randomly boated up or something like that. But he doesn't really put much pressure on me because, again, he only bets $50. Contemplate a raise here. Couldn't really figure out what sizing I liked. So, and again, I would just hate if he jammed on me. So I just make the call, and he instantly flips over King Jack. So now I'm kicking myself wishing I raised. I show the ace king, and we take this one down with a better kicker. Yeah, this one was a little weird, but either way, we take down this $320 pot. Good result. Okay, so it's obvious I've been running like the sun today, and it just doesn't ever stop. This one starts off with a $6 straddle being on. There's one limp, and then I look down in middle position at ace queen offsuit. I decide to raise it up to $20, and surprisingly, I get 3 callers. And then the limper to my left then decides to then raise it up to $80. So he limps 3 bets to 80. I make the call knowing that pretty much no one behind me is going to 4-bet, which is always a great feeling, and everybody else folds. So we're going heads up to a pot that's already pretty big, $220 in the middle, and it comes ace 8-5 with 2 hearts. Pretty incredible that I just cannot miss a flop tonight. We're beating a ton of hands now, except for ace king. That one is scary. The 3-better then c-bets 1/4 for about $55. This is a range bet, 1/4. I'm pretty sure he's going to be doing this with almost 100% of his hands, so can't really get too much information out of him. He only has about 150 behind after that $55 he just put out there. So honestly, I just put him all in. If he has ace king, so be it. He's absolutely disgusted though, and immediately asks if I have ace king. So now I know he doesn't have it, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'd probably have the best hand, or we're chopping. Does make the call, creating a $420 pot, and he shows ace jack. He's in really bad shape. He wants to run it twice. I oblige. I always run it twice. The board's brick out. Brick, 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 brick. We scoop this pot, and we stack our homie on the left. Okay, so this next one is stupid, and it just shows how good I'm running and how much the poker gods love me today for some reason. Not really sure what I did to deserve it, but I look down at ace 10 offsuit in early position, and I make it $10 to go. I get 3-bet pretty quickly by the button. He makes it $35, and honestly, ace 10 offsuit isn't a good hand, especially facing a 3-bet. I likely fold here most of the time, but I wanted to get into a pot with this particular opponent, so I make the call. The pot is about $70, and the flop comes 10 jack 10, so I casually just flop trips here. I'm running pretty damn hot, as you can see. I decide to check. I'm out of position, and the villain unfortunately checks behind. That's a bummer, because I was really hoping he would have an overpair or catch part of this board. Doesn't seem like it. Turn is an ace though, so maybe he hit this. It also brings a flush draw on board, and it also boats me up. So sitting here with the board pretty much locked up, pretty much having the nuts besides jacks or aces, I take a risk and I check it again, trying to disguise the strength of my hand, and thankfully the villain bets this time. He bets $35. Now I want to put more money in without scaring him off something like a flush draw or an ace. I min click it up here basically. I make it $75. He ends up making the call. Pot is now $225, and the river is something special. It's the last 10 in the deck. So now I have quads, and now I really have the deck locked up. I pretty much have the entire board here, so it's going to be really hard for my opponent to have any like medium or low strength hands. He could pretty much only have a boat or like absolutely nothing. So regardless, I'm gonna bet absolutely gigantic here. I go for a 2x overbet sizing. I bet $400. The main point of this bet is to make it look like I'm trying to get him off a chop. I'm trying to make it look like I'm stealing this pot, trying to get him off an ace. But unfortunately, he folds, claiming he had a flush draw, so I was correct. He just did have a shitty hand. It's hard to have a good hand on this board. So yeah, no more value to be had, but we still make quads and pull in a nice one. Okay, so the next couple hands are gonna be pretty quick because we got it all in pre-flop or on the flop. This one is no exception. I look down at pocket queens. An early position player raises it up to $10. You know, that's not enough for me. You know I'm 3-betting here. I make it $30 to go. And surprisingly, he clicks it right back to me with a 4-bet, a very small 4-bet. He had less than $200 to start the hand, so there's really nothing left for me to do except jam. I jam. He's not happy about it, but he ends up making the call. He doesn't want to show right away, so we don't show our cards, and it runs out ace, 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 6, 4. So he might have quads, but he flips over jacks, and I flip over my queens, and he is pissed off. So poor guy, but we end up stacking him as well. And we get a nice $400 and something pot pushed our way. I really couldn't claim I was running like the sun unless I looked down at aces at least once tonight, and that I do. I look down at aces in early position. There's a $10 straddle on. I raise it up to $30. And then I get 3-bet by the same player I was against in that ace 10 hand. He makes it $75. And this was actually a pretty interesting spot because it's back on me. I have the option to flat or 4-bet here. Only has about $400 in his stack total, so about $325 after that $75 bet. So it's kind of an awkward sizing for me. I could either really jam or flat, but I decide on the worst option of the two. I end up betting $250. He would only have about $75 to $100 left. So either way, he's pretty much committed. So kind of a weird sizing by me, and I think it was a massive mistake. I kind of like a flat here after thinking about it for a while. Either way, he ends up folding, and he claims to have queens. So if he really did have queens here, amazing fold to this guy. Hats off. I don't think I've ever folded queens. I feel absolutely dumb. I feel like he just owned my soul. So that sucks. Okay, this one's actually funny. This is against the same guy. I had aces who just folded queens and the guy with the ace 10 hand. We've been getting a lot of pots together tonight, so it's been fun. I have king queen offsuit and there's a $20 straddle on. I raise it up to $60 and this guy just insta jams for $350 behind me. Folds around back to me, and he's been jamming with quite a large range. He's basically jammed almost every hand for the last 5 or so hands and have showed absolute dog shit every single time. So honestly, he could have it this time, but probably not. I decide to let it be a little bit randomized. There's a D20 at the table, 20-sided die. I say I would probably make this call about 1/4 of the time. So if I see a 1 through 5, I'm making the call and I'm folding anything else. So I roll the dice like Doug Polk does, and I see a 14, so I just snap fold. And thank God I did. We ran the board out. He had jacks, so he actually did have a hand. We would have lost the flip. Feels good that I only lost $60 instead of $350. Okay, so for literally the last hand of the night, because pretty much after this, the table breaks. The same player with the king-queen offsuit hand, the aces hand, the ace-10 hand, I get into another one with him. He's been jamming pretty much every hand at this point. He's a little tilted, I can tell. And I raise. It's only 4-handed at this point. I raised to $10 with ace-queen suited, and he just jams for about $330-ish. I think about it for a little bit. I mean, there's not really much to think about. I kind of accidentally slow roll him. I just call, rerun the board out, and I scoop, a $650, maybe $700 pot. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. And that's about it. That's pretty much the last hand of the night. There's a bunch of different hands that I've won and lost during this, but they weren't super interesting. I thought these were the most fun ones I picked out. But either way, we had an absolute great night. Yeah, great result as well. So then early the next morning, I head out to Parker, Colorado to go to the Colorado Horse Park and watch my girlfriend jump some stuff on her horse Chipotle. Always a great time to watch my poker coach do something other than poker. She's killing it out there today and the last few weeks. She's been grinding out here. So shout out to her, and then shout out to her other horse Q. Me and him are best buddies. We love each other, so check him out. Also cool. Then here's a little clip of my friend Harry in the wild around some women. He doesn't know how to act. Just like this video. Roast him in the comments for me. It'd be pretty funny. What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed those hands. It was a great night for me, a great session. It was a lot of fun, made a lot of money. I was in for $300, out for $16.35 for a profit of $13.35. So not too shabby. That's my first real session back, I'd say, since all this stuff has started happening. But yeah, like I mentioned, been going through some pretty unfortunate medical stuff, but I'm coming out on the other side, so things are looking good. Wrapping that whole section of my life up. Hopefully it doesn't come back around. But yeah, and I've got some exciting news. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I've got a really cool idea for some sort of stuff I want to do when we hit that milestone. So probably talk about that more on my next video. But if you guys have any specific ideas you think I should do, special videos or something like that, let me know. Leave it in the comments. And yeah, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys coming back and watching my videos, even though I haven't posted in forever. So yeah, guys, thanks. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.